Need more proof that this is all a psychological operation, that this is about getting the shot put into everyone's body? Are you one of those skeptics out there that think that people like us are crazy? Well, then why do clinical government organizations hold these types of meetings at Yale University, of course, where Skull and Bones runs prominent? The clinicaltrials.gov, get a load of this. They are working on their method to convince people to make sure that they get the shot by using psychological operations. Because remember, they don't want to use force. And it's not because they're afraid of us. In some senses, they might be. But it's because when people see them using force, especially Americans, who they've turned this country into nothing but a bunch of pacifists. People are just, what is the word? Pacifists, right? Everybody's got a pacifier in their mouth, and confrontation and all that stuff is just really, not liked in this country. Even verbal confrontation now, which we've seen with channels like mine and just me in general, being labeled as an extremist and stuff when I just have a voice. I'm just saying my opinion on things. They don't want to use force because when people see them using force, people become skeptical. People say, why are they doing this? Why are they so hell-bent on doing this to people? Why don't they let the people make their choice? Blah, blah, blah. Until, of course, they have to use another psychological means, which is how this is all going to end, which is saying that because those of us who aren't, we're still making those who get the shot sick because it doesn't have a 100% success rate. You know the story, but take a look at this. This is what's going on with, this is at Yale University. This is the clinicaltrials.gov, okay? And for those of you who are wondering what the clinicaltrials.gov is and who they are, they're a registry of clinical trials. It's run by the U.S. National Library of Medicine and the National Institutes of Health, and it's the largest clinical trial database. Now, they're not just running the testing there and doing the trials to get the results of the shot. This is the stuff that they're doing that should really concern you, because we know they already have their poison ready for everyone. This is what's going on there. The control, these are all the the topics and the things that they're discussing there. Control message, baseline message, personal freedom message, economic freedom message, self-interest message, community interest message, economic benefit message, guilt message, embarrassment message, anger message, not bravery message, trust in science message. These are the psychological things that they use in the news, in the media, to convince people to go along with this stuff. We've already seen it, right? They guilt people. They use humiliation tactics. They use the science tactic, right? Oh, we have to trust in science. How many times have I used that clip of all these presidents talking about trusting in science and all these fake scientists? And look at this stuff when you go down here. These are the things that are being discussed and worked on as we speak to control the masses. So get a load of these psychological tactics that they're using. Already we see them using it, but this is what they plan on using when they roll out the shot for people who refuse to get it, or just to convince the people who are on the edge to make sure that they get it. One is the personal freedom message. It says this will be in the personal freedom message, which is a message about how the outbreak is limiting people's personal freedom, and by working together to get enough people to get the vax, society can preserve its personal freedom, right? I've talked about that over and over. That's one of the tactics that they're using. It's the smoke out tactic, I call it. Taking away people's freedom and saying you can have it all back. You could fly again. You could go to baseball games again. Yay, you can go to movies. But you got to get it. And they're making people they're beating them down so much that they're going to give in. Second, economic freedom message. This is a message about how the outbreak is limiting people's economic freedom, right? Because we see the unemployment rate at an all-time high. And all these places forced to shut down. They're forcing them to shut down. By working together to get enough people to shot, society can preserve their economic freedom. The self-interest message. It's a message that the outbreak presents a real danger to one's health, even if one is young and healthy. Getting the shot is the best way to prevent oneself from getting sick. These are all the talking points, if you don't understand what this is. The talking points you're going to hear on the media to convince people. Everything is a psychological operation. Everything. Everyone thinks everything is going to be forced. It's forced through the mind control. That's how they do this. This is how we've gotten to this point. The community interest message. This is the one that's really going to cause division amongst people. We've already seen this. This message is about the dangers of the outbreak to the health of loved ones. The more people who get the shot, the lower the risk that one's loved ones will get sick. Society must work together and all get the shot. That's going to be a common thing. I guarantee you'll hear the celebrities come out and say, society must work together. Society must work together. We have to all work together to do this for each other, to love each other, right? The guilt message. This message is about the danger that the outbreak presents to the health of one's family and community. Once again, the best way to protect them is by getting the shot, and society must work together to get enough people vaxxed. Then it asks the participant to imagine the guilt that they will feel if they don't get the shot, and they're the ones responsible for spreading the disease. That is going to be a huge message when this comes out, when they release this, the first phase of it. A huge message. They're going to point the finger and say, we're the ones who are endangering others. We're being selfish, right? That ties in, the guilt message ties in with the community message. The embarrassment message. This message is the best way to protect them is by getting the shot, working together to make sure that enough people get the shot, and then asking the participant to imagine the embarrassment they will feel if they don't get the shot, and they are again causing people to get sick. So that ties in the embarrassment message with the guilt message for the most part. The anger message walks along the same lines there. Then the trust in science. They say this message is claiming to make sure to tell people that the vax is backed by science. If one doesn't get the shot, that means that one doesn't understand how infections are spread or who ignores science, right? So that's just a way of saying, oh, you don't understand science. The doctors are telling us what's best. You're not a doctor, even though how many of these doctors have come forward and said how bad it is to wear the mask in general, and then boom, all their videos are taken off YouTube. Anyone talking about it is having their videos removed from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Can't share that information. Can't do that. And then the bravery message, which also ties into the guilt message. And that's those who do not get the shot are not brave, right? So those are going to be tactics that they use. They're going to be calling you out in the media. Celebrities are going to be calling out people who refuse it. They're going to be, and then what that does is it causes people in your own lives, your own family members who get it, to look down upon you, to criticize you, to guilt you, because they're going to constantly hear the message and then they're going to regurgitate the message, because that's how mind control works. And I'll leave the link below. This is the clinicaltrials.gov website. This is a government website. The information in this is sponsored and provided by Yale University, right? Most of you have seen my videos on Yale and Skull and Bones. The Ivy League schools, these are the ones that front the higher ranking secret societies, fraternal organizations. Yes, even some fraternities, not all, have links and connections, especially in the rituals that are done to Freemasonry. And then the Ivy League schools, those are the ones where you get the prominent figures that come out of it, such as presidents, CEOs of major corporations, editors at major newspapers and magazines who control the narrative. They all are the ones there, going through Yale, going through Harvard, going through Princeton, going through Stanford. That's how it works. So this is what they're working on. So if you're somebody who is skeptical and you think, I guarantee there's going to be idiots who comment and they're going to say, what's so wrong about that? They have to figure out a way to get idiots like you call for an uprising to get the shot. Yeah, so they have to use mind control tactics, which all these people claim there's no such thing as mind control. All these people claim that all the news is them telling you real factual stuff. They're not trying to persuade and manipulate you. That's all they're doing. They're herding everyone into this. This is the first tactic they're going to use. And they're going to see how many people they can get to do it. And then when the data comes back and they see that it's 50%, they're not going to be happy. They might be happy if 70% get it, and they might let the rest slide without making it mandatory. But like I said, they're still going to continue to squeeze us out. We're not going to be allowed to go to restaurants. We're not going to be allowed to go to the movies or anywhere else. We're going to be trapped in our homes still until we decide to give in and get it. That's what they're going to do to us, right? Whether it's through some RFID chip that's in us so they could scan you when you go into a restaurant and make sure that you have gotten your mandatory shot, or through a certificate that you get when you go to, a military base or wherever they're going to have these centers, because I don't think they're going to be taking place at CVS. I think they're going to literally have like FEMA camps in our towns. And then you're going to have to like go in line and get a certificate when it's done and prove that it's going to be ridiculous. And people are going to line up for it because they want back to what they consider normalcy. So this is what goes on in our world, folks. Yet the citizens of America continue to do nothing. Citizens in other countries continue to not do what they're told by the government. They don't wear the masks. They stick the middle finger up. They open their businesses. Here in America, everyone's afraid. They've created a soft cookie cutter cupcake society. I've said it for years now. For years. And that's why people hear me talk. They think I'm like some hateful bigot maniac guy. I don't even own a gun. I'm not violent. And I don't think even having a fight with somebody is violent. These people are all hypocrites. We live in such a soft country. They've made everyone so soft that we've allowed them to walk on us and even openly have reports like this out there where they say, look, these are the things we're going to do. We're going to shame you into getting the vax. So I'll leave that linked up below. Unbelievable stuff. Obviously, we know this goes on, but I hope this will help people who are on the fence about this stuff, who think maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, or you're new to the channel, or maybe you're somebody who is into all this stuff and believes a lot of the stuff I talk about, but maybe you're still pro-medicine and pro-science, whatever they label this as, pro-vax. Maybe you'll start seeing that this is a psychological operation to get these shots in everyone's bodies to depopulate. I want to thank everyone out there for listening to today's show. Reminder, please check out my website at callfornuprising.com. $2.99 a month. The site is for you guys to interact with each other, share your information, share your videos, share your content, share stuff you're seeing in your town with like-minded people. I do upload videos and things like that there. I'm still here on YouTube for the time being, but in the event that this channel or another thing happens, that's primarily where I'm going to be uploading videos. So make sure you check it out if you like this channel. And, you can afford $2.99. So check it out. And I want to thank the patrons and everyone else out there for their support. God bless you and your families.